Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Day 2 of the 6th Southeast Asian Breast Cancer Symposium. Now let's all welcome Ms. Crisan Celdran.
Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Day 2 of the 6th Southeast Asia Breast Cancer Symposium, the first of its kind here in the country. There isn't anyone in this room or anyone attending online today that has not been touched by breast cancer. Breast cancer continues to affect those diagnosed, their families, their circle of support, their communities. As Beth, who opened yesterday's conference, said, when one is diagnosed, the family gets cancer. The entire community gets cancer. This symposium is a special opportunity to call attention to the breast cancer issues, to discuss new findings, new approaches, to acknowledge the obstacles that lie ahead, and to come together for a united cause. It is our hope that because of, through, and beyond this, we can ultimately speak with one regional, powerful, collective voice. This three-day conference is made possible by the support of our sponsor partners who share and believe in our advocacy. Without you, this would have been unimaginable. Thank you, Pfizer, Roche, AIA Philippines, Novartis, the De Guzman Group, NutriAsia, Unilab, In the Pink, Healthway, Globe, and SEDA. We would also like to acknowledge our partner organizations, ABC Global Alliance, American Society of Clinical Oncology, Cancer Coalition Philippines, Philippine Society of Breast Surgeons, Philippine Society of Medical Oncology, Philippine Society of Oncologists, Reach to Discovery International, Shueyong Hinin Si Cancer Foundation, Swandok Breast Cancer Network, and Yayasan Kanker, Payudara, Indonesia. Thank you, sponsors. Hand in hand with all of you, we have already taken the first steps to designing a better future for the global breast cancer community. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our speakers, our moderators, and our reactors. You have gifted us with your invaluable time, knowledge, and expertise. Breast cancer remains to be a crucial health concern that impacts us here in the Philippines, in Southeast Asia, and all over the world. Yesterday, we learned the sobering and eye-opening facts that breast cancer is top 1 cancer in 157 countries. It is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in 110 out of 115 countries. There were 2.3 million newly diagnosed in 2020 alone. By 2030, 75% of the projected 2.2 million new breast cancer cases and 817,000 new cases annually will occur in lower middle-income countries. Here in the Philippines, breast cancer is the leading cause of death and the #1 cancer in the country. Nevertheless, the Global Breast Cancer Initiative aims to reduce global breast cancer mortality by 2.5% per year until 2040. This will save 2.5 million lives over a 20-year period. We pondered the question, why are we only measuring suffering and not happiness? We also learned of the extraordinary benefits of peer mentoring. This very city where we are now broadcasting from, Taguig, is home to a highly successful breast cancer control program called Ating Dibdibin, made possible through local legislation and a 10-year-strong partnership with ICANSERVE and the local government. Yesterday's session highlighted the importance of institutionalizing programs such as these so that they can outlast changes in leadership and overpower politics. What a privilege to be in the room with our esteemed doctors who took to the stage to discuss findings from 2022 American Society of Clinical Oncology annual meeting. In what seemed to me like a gathering of my favorite Marvel characters, banding together to combat the threats that arise, our superheroes, our panelists, presented recent studies while emphasizing putting patient care at the forefront, and that is their superpower. Here's a glimpse of what transpired yesterday.
CBCS or CBACS is back, kinda in person and not so in person. We need a revolution in cancer care in the way we think, imagine, and in the way we get things done. Today we have resource speakers from 14 countries participating in person and online.
Peer support has so many benefits. It can decrease feelings of isolation, encourage positive emotional states, and improve patient coping responses and behaviors.
Patients who received the TDXD lived longer, on average of about 6.5 months longer than those who were randomized to get just standard chemotherapy.
The project aims to increase awareness of breast cancer, self-examination, breast health, and to promote clinical breast examination among the primary healthcare providers to help downstaging the breast cancer cases in the area.
The goal is to get 80% of patients through treatment without abandonment.
Many don't know which countries belong to Southeast Asia. We need to come together, define ourselves, and project our uniqueness. We have to speak louder so the world gets to know us, and we can help the future of cancer care.
Today is another special day. Before we start with today's sessions, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our next speaker. She has had an extensive career serving public office for almost 3 decades. She held the role of Health Secretary of the Philippines from 2016 to 2017. Prior to that, she served as the Assistant Secretary at the Department of Health's Office of Technical Services and Office for Health Regulations. Those in the Cancer Coalition Philippines, of which ICANSERVE is a founding member, remember fondly how when the Secretary of Health then, they called hoping she could provide the backing they needed for the cancer bill. They will never forget that the backing they needed was acted on immediately. She called and readily arranged a meeting with the legislative team to show her full support. She's not just an ally, but a true champion for the cancer cause. Please welcome Secretary Paulyn Ubial.
Hello and good day to everyone, to our cancer global community of breast cancer warriors. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure for me to join you today in this significant conference. The first time, I believe, in 2 years that we come together on a face-to-face and a hybrid of virtual online speakers. It is really the new normal, or the thing that we have to live with after the pandemic, is that things change and we have to adapt to the current world standards. So I'd like to congratulate, first of all, the organizers of this conference, hybrid conference, our local counterpart, Ms. Cara Magsanok Alikpala, the chairperson of the Southeast Asia Breast Cancer Conference, and Caroline Taylor, the co-founder and co-chairperson of this Southeast Asian Breast Cancer Symposium. And I'd like to give a message to everyone that health is actually everybody's concern. And that was my battle cry when I was health secretary: all for health towards health for all. Meaning that health should not be just the concern of healthcare providers or the health sector, but everyone in the community must be involved in ensuring health and well-being of everyone else in the community. And this dictum or advocacy holds true for cancer as well as other diseases. So it was my advocacy also when I was health secretary to champion the cancer bill and also to provide support to our cancer control program. I remember in 1998 when I was head of the Women's Health and Safe Motherhood Project, we did a community survey on why women will not go for breast cancer screening. And majority of the women answered that they would rather not know that they have breast cancer because they believe they cannot provide financial support or resources to enable them to get treatment. So why will you get screened if you cannot get treated? So with that in mind, I really tried to push the Department of Health, and I think it's also what we need to do in other countries, particularly the third world and growing economies, to push the government to provide resources, especially for cancer treatment, because like many of you know, and now we have the data, breast cancer is one of the treatable cancers, meaning that if you find it early and you provide treatment and management early, it can go away. It's a cancer that can be treated. So I hope that we work together and ensure that governments are held accountable and provide resources for our cancer patients and the cancer network. It's not just about treatment, it's also providing support to cancer patients and, of course, survivors. Only this week, I'd like to also make mention that cancer is very close to my heart because a classmate of mine had mastectomy only this week, and another classmate in high school who has had her mastectomy last year had to have the other breast removed this week because of metastases. So breast cancer and how it affects all of us is a real issue in our times. And we have to take note that it takes a community. It takes all of us working together to help our breast cancer patients. So with that, I congratulate everyone, and I advocate to all of you to continue working together, learn from each other, because that's the way we advance the science, management, and treatment of breast cancer as well as other diseases. It's a community working together for the betterhood of all peoples of the world. So congratulations to the global breast cancer community for this wonderful symposium of advancing our knowledge on breast cancer treatment and support.
Click on the corresponding rooms via our virtual site. There's a help desk if you need any assistance. Take advantage of that chat button. We would love to hear from you. As Cara, my comrade, said, everything big begins small. It is time to think out of the box. It is time to banish barriers and fears. We hope this will be another day of learning, of empowering, of strengthening this community. Thank you.
To our guests attending the breakout rooms, you may now proceed to your respective rooms. Once again, to our guests attending the various breakout rooms, you may proceed to your respective rooms now. Thank you.